Because I'm Batman. We got some Batman news to talk about. Supposedly, Robert Pattinson's Batman movie is getting a TV show spinoff about Gotham PD, a new Gotham show.
I was about to say, is it going to be about Jim Gordon?
I mean, there's some new details here to uncover, and this is actually official. Not some leak or rumor. This is
not more Doomcock.
Matt Reeves talked about it. HBO Max had a press release. Let's cover this. Before we do that, though, I did want to shout out our Patreon page, because we haven't done that at all this month so far. So, guys, over at our Patreon, we do a weekly Q&A podcast. Go check us out over there. You submit questions. We do podcasts based off of them. The biggest draw would be the fact that we do music and TV show reactions. Many of those shows have reaction highlights included, with the option to do a watch along as well. And the shows that have reaction highlights are Supernatural, Doctor Who, My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Death Note, Hunter x Hunter, Promise Neverland, Code Geass, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, just started up Violet Evergarden, he just started up Demon Slayer, One Punch Man, and then there are shows where we only have the watch-along option for them, and those are Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and, yes, all of Gotham. I recently just finished all of Gotham, and that's why I'm excited to talk about this piece of news, okay? I actually really love that Gotham show. I think it's actually a pretty underrated series. Can it get silly at times? Can it get campy? Sure, but I actually thought it's really well written for the most part, and I think it's really well acted, and the style and direction. Let's see if I can wrap my head around an already new Gotham show. So the HBO Max press release says this: the groundbreaking television series, to be written by Winter, is set in the world Reeves is creating for the Batman feature film and will build upon the motion picture's examination of the anatomy of corruption in Gotham City, ultimately launching a new Batman universe across multiple platforms. The series provides an unprecedented opportunity to extend the world established in the movie and further explore the myriad of compelling and complex characters of Gotham. This marks the first television project for Reeves under his recently announced overall deal with the Warner Brothers television group. And here's what Reeves had to say. This is an amazing opportunity, not only to expand. I have no idea how he sounds. I've never heard him talk.
It's an amazing opportunity.
Yo, bro. My name is Matt Reeves. This is an amazing opportunity, not only to expand the vision of the world I am creating in the film, but to explore it in the kind of depth and detail that only a long-form format can afford. Sweet. And getting to work with the incredibly talented Terence Winter, we'll talk a little bit more about him in a sec, who has written so insightfully and powerfully about worlds of crime and corruption, is an absolute dream. And this will also introduce the Ben Affleck HBO Max series, and then we will get Michael Keaton to be the Nick Fury, and Flashpoint will get involved and tie all of this together.
Yep. And then pretty soon you're gonna have to watch the HBO Max shows if you want to understand the DCEU movies or even their Elseworlds.
Good luck, guys. This is just gonna make matters worse. And then this article goes on to further say, what makes this an exciting prospect is that it sounds like it's in the vein of the excellent comic series Gotham Central, which I did have comics of but never read, which was a street-level view of Gotham from the perspective of cops and detectives. It's a great way to expand the Batman universe without requiring Batman to show up. We got an immensely silly version of this with the Fox series Gotham, but now there's an opportunity to do it right.
Shots
fired, mother effer.
Ouch.
Ooh.
Are you going to take that?
Yeah, because a lot of people share that point of view. I think there's a lot of rich episodes in there. And I think the fans of Gotham, that series, would agree. That's why they're fans. It's also a bit of a tell that Warner Media isn't putting this series on DC Universe where they put other DC properties, but instead are pushing it on HBO Max, which will also be home to the Snyder Cut. Said it, once that Snyder Cut thing came out and everyone was like, oh shit, people care about HBO Max. We need to do more DC stuff here.
We gotta put more DC excited about.
I wouldn't be surprised if DC Universe is dead within a year or transitions to comics only. I wouldn't second that. I think they would just put the shows from DC Universe solely on HBO Max. As for this entitled series set in Gotham, I'm curious to see how much crossover we'll have with the Batman. Obviously, getting Robert Pattinson to guest star may be a bit of a stretch. would it? Matt Reeves is working directly on this.
Yeah, if they like each other that much, and if the show has movie caliber production quality, and if Robert Pattinson really is proud of the work he did, he might go back up.
This isn't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., how that started. I mean, like Joss Whedon directed AOS, the pilot, right? Like I believe he directed the pilot.
Yeah, and I mean his team was heavily involved. They did not do a lot in the movies to accept the show.
My point being, like Kevin Feige's so much associated with Marvel, we don't really have that kind of name recognition with the DC universe at the moment. This really feels like Matt Reeves' Batman. And it seems like a lot of people signed up for Matt Reeves' Batman because of the script that he wrote for this. I think Robert Pattinson is included in that. So I'd imagine it might be, out of anyone to be likely to happen, I feel like getting Robert Pattinson to show up in this series is likely to happen.
Yeah, I don't feel like that would be hard at all, actually, especially if you're going to have like Jeffrey Wright playing Commissioner Gordon still and all that.
Well, I think, it says it right here too, that Jeffrey Wright, most likely Commissioner Gordon, will be a reoccurring character. I don't think it would be wise on their end to do another Gotham show where Jim Gordon is
like the central lead figure. Yeah.
Obviously, he would be a reoccurring character. Even in the comics, if I'm not mistaken, he's a reoccurring character. I believe Renee Montoya is actually one of the lead characters in the Gotham Central comic. Maybe they could use that as a slight chance to tie it in a bit more.
Get Rosie Perez
if they did get Rosie Perez in there, but then you'd have to work with the Birds of Prey storyline and how that ended.
And they're just going to woke up my Batman.
Woke Batman, man. Just screwing everything over. So I think their best bet would still be, as much as I liked Rosie Perez, I think that their best bet would still be if they have Renee Montoya to do a different Renee Montoya. And I think that automatically what would make this different than Gotham, the Fox show, is Gotham was a prelude leading into Bruce Wayne becoming Batman in the final episode. Spoilers.
Nah.
In case you didn't see that shit coming.
Yeah.
But that's what it was leading into ultimately. And then here, it sounds like this show would be existing on the same timeline within whenever the movies are taking place.
Yeah, exactly. So you already have a Batman fully formed.
Kind of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but more involved.
Yeah, exactly. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., if they actually had a movie universe that really wanted to play back and forth with it.
Exactly, and I think what will make this cool is that with it being HBO Max, one thing that the Gotham show, and I'm not going to be making like a giant comparison game here, with the Gotham show that I thought was really fascinating was that it was on Fox, but it was also extremely gory at times. Like I've shown you images of like...
You kept likening it to like American Horror Story.
It was, it was like a Ryan Murphy show at times.
And yeah, there is some really wacky, like crazy, gory stuff in there.
Now, with this being Gotham, the worst city in the world to live in, I don't know why anyone lives there.
Why? Yeah, seriously.
And it being on HBO Max, you could be further more violent than what Netflix was able to do with the Marvel shows.
Oh yeah.
You can have the F words. You can have it be like a hard R television show.
When you can probably push and explore some pretty tough ideas too. If you're,
exactly.
I don't know. I just associate HBO with that level of like, let's dig in and really get into some messed up territory. And Gotham being as terrible of a city as it seems like it is, and with the level of crime from both the street level to the super villainous, like there's a lot to explore, I would imagine.
Of course. And then you got Terence Winter, who's really bringing this show to life, who has Vinyl out there right now, and he did Boardwalk Empire. I recently finished The Sopranos. I think he was one of the main writers, actually. Okay. And then The Wolf of Wall Street, he wrote the screenplay for that as well. So this guy...
And 50 cents bulletproof video.
And Get Rich or Die
Trying. Yeah.
This is going to be a police procedural show that explores the criminal underbelly. Evidently, this guy knows how to write about corruption, the criminal world. He knows how to do all that really well, and to see him apply it with the comic book medium, and also getting this different side of Matt Reeves, because when we see this movie, everyone's going to be associating like Matt Reeves, the director of the Batman. Yes, he excels at these movies that are technically big studio films, yet he knows how to make them very character driven and pretty grounded. Like the smallest scale film other than the pallbearer in 1990s or 6 or something. Other than that movie, Let Me In is probably the smallest scale movie he's ever done. Working on this, the way he always great at thematic exploration, making things grounded in character exploration. I'm excited that Matt Reeves is directly involved with this and adapting it.
Well, yeah, and it suggests a certain level of steady continuity, because a lot of times I feel like you'll hear that, like, oh, there's a spin-off show based on this movie, and you'll get excited, but then you'll see it and you'll be like, I can tell it's not the same folks. And so having this level of unity in terms of the foundation seems like an inspiring thing, especially with Matt Reeves' track record.
What's sounding cool about the way the whole Batman thing is shaping up is like the way they've been saying this is a trilogy, this whole universe of I feel like the way to separate this, it's like you got the Dark Knight trilogy, which is known as Nolan's Batman. You got Batman within the DC extended universe, and now you have Matt Reeves' The Batman world.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's going to be the easiest way to define this specific umbrella, with having this show and then having the Batman movie on top of it, or the trilogy that they're setting up. I think that's like with the HBO Max, with the money that they want to put, that they're putting into HBO Max, I mean, how they're funding the damn Snyder Cut. This could be a cool opportunity to get Colin Farrell's Penguin in here involved as well. I don't want them to just only do like what we saw in Gotham, but also only the famous rogue gallery villains. But I think you can make a really hardcore character study focused show about these cops that's not going to have to be heavily reliant. Like, yes, I want them to infuse Commissioner Gordon. I want them to have some of the Batman rogue gallery villains. Of course I want all
I
that.
want them to make a Gotham police procedural, but with none of the things you want to see. Just cops that are totally made up, and only the cops and only street level crime.
Family drama. This guy's wife is not happy with him.
Batman at all.
If Terence Winter is doing this, odds are the main male character is cheating on his wife.
You want a certain level of Batmaniness, but not, to the degree where it's just could have been another movie or something like that. And plus, too, you have a lot of discussions about the police going on in the world right now, and comic books, I think, are a fertile ground for those kinds of allegorical explorations that are also flashy and fun.
That's why I think they should make all the characters white.
Definitely.
Make all the cops white, and then the one cop who stands up against the injustices, Jeffrey Wright. I'm just messing with
Woke
you guys.
man.
I'm just trying to provoke. I'm excited for this. I think this could be something really special. Let's face it, I don't feel like too many comparisons will be drawn to the Gotham show on Fox, because that show really dipped in viewers pretty fast.
It seems like it has its cult audience.
Yeah, it wasn't a huge show.
The main thing I'm surprised by this is just that it's not a Zack Snyder Bativerse, because they dumped that money into the Snyder Cut, and there's all that talk about like, oh, maybe Ben Affleck will put the cowl back on. To hear them double down on Matt Reeves is like super cool. It's just not exactly what I expected.
This could have been part of that when you got the rumor mills going on about HBO Max working on a Batman show. Maybe through the game of telephone, it turned into Ben Affleck's gonna have to resurrect because of the Snyder Cut. But really, this might have been what they were talking about. Anywho, guys, are you excited for this show? You excited it's gonna be on HBO Max? Leave your thoughts down below. Do you want Robert Pattinson to just take over the series and just star in it throughout? Let's hope you don't say yes to that. Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification bell. Last but not least, Michael B. I got to shout out our homeboy Omnimedia. Do yourself a favor. Follow him on his YouTube channel. I want to be very specific about this because he is covering so much DC content, covering Doom Patrol right now, DC's Stargirl right now. He's doing a whole bunch of shows, and his commentary is freaking dynamite. I want this guy to become a more famous YouTuber because he is so good at what he does. And I'm not just saying that because he's pledged to our Patreon page. A lot of times I'll be cleaning and I'll just put on one of his videos and I'll just listen to his commentary.
And then steal it.
Yeah, then I steal his opinions and I put them here, and then I'm like, why are more people following Omni?
Really needs some more respect from you guys out there.
But seriously, follow the guy. Thank you, Omnimedia.
Thanks, buddy.
Subscribe to his channel today.